It's T.
No. Stop.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Please hit that subscribe button and comment. The comments really help us.
It does.
It gives us your point of view, how you feel, and what else you want to hear next. Um, so, without further ado, this topic is going to be how you don't get to choose the families that you're born into and some of the obstacles that you go through with family. Because even though y'all love each other, well, even though y'all are supposed to love each other,
Wow.
it's not always
Your own people.
it's not always displayed. And I am a firm believer that just because we're relatives, that does not make you family. Because family is a unit, family is a bond, and there's a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of us can relate. There's a lot of people in families that you may not have that with for whatever reason. But yeah, family is the topic. So
This ought to be an interesting one.
it's T.
And T.
Now let's talk. So
Like, you know what what bothers me?
what?
Every time we do this.
She's about to talk about me. What?
No, I'm talking about me.
Oh, okay, I'll take that back.
Every time we do the Is T and T Now Let's Talk, I hate that my finger automatically. I'm sorry, y'all. That bothers me.
Okay, so how gonna start this off?
Go ahead and start it.
This is a different one.
Let's start with the cons and end with the pros so we can end on a more positive note. Wow.
Um,
Disclaimer. I'm sorry. Disclaimer. To any family that may be watching this isn't meant to be negative. We still love you guys. But every family have their moments of being dysfunctional, of, having disagreement is normal. Is normal. So what we're saying is not to shame anybody in our family, because at the end of the day, we're still family. So even the things that said that may not be so nice,
it's all in
please
love.
don't get offended.
It's
Don't
all
get
in
offended. We're saying
But
what y'all think that we're
respect
just.
that is our truth.
It is.
There's two sides, and then somewhere in the middle lies the truth. But this is our version of the truth.
And I think my version is the right version.
Whew. So, family, where do you start? Okay, so family, you don't always get to choose your family.
Surely.
And for the most part, I love my family. But I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say straight up, I don't like a lot of them. Um, just experiences, life experience. When I was 9, I left New York City. So, and I didn't move back till I was 18. So that's like my whole childhood. I was away from like my grandparents, my cousins, aunts, uncles. It was just my mom, stepfather, and my sister. Um, so I had this false sense of what I wouldn't say I had a false sense of family because my mother installed family in us. So we're very family orientated, but you got to remember that all your family was not raised the same. Y'all was not all raised from in the same household, and family or not, y'all are all not cut from the same cloth, baby. Because I'm silk. Come on. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Ain't no polyester over here. I think I'm wearing polyester though. But okay, family. I had this sense of family, like the family that I left at 9, I still thought that that was still the same family that I left at 9. But I gotta remember, I was a 9-year-old girl. So the things my mom warned me about, picking up and leaving and going there, she warned me before I walked into the lion's den. She warned me. And I was like, I'm 18, I'm grown, I know what I'm doing, I don't want to be here no more. And you know the real reason why I left? And God has his way, oh my God, of God has his way of showing you and who he is in a situation. And I think my situation lasted about 8 years, 8, 9 years before I was able to completely get out of my situation. Because my mother told me, do not go. And I was mad at my mom. Let me tell you, I got into an argument with my mother. I was not even living in the same state as her. She was in Florida and I was in Georgia. And I got into an argument with her and I was so angry. And me being spiteful, because I was being spiteful, at least I thought, but I was just spiting myself. Me being spiteful, I say, you know what? I'm going to pick up and I'm going to leave with me and my baby and I'm going to go as far away as possible because we said some hurtful things to each other. And I'm like, she don't want to see me. She don't want to talk to me. I'm going to make sure she don't ever got to see me or talk to me again. Because I know my mom don't travel to New York like that. And in my mind, again, I had this false sense of family. I thought that the way my mother had my back, my grandma would have my back, my aunts would have my back, my cousins would have my back, my uncle would have my back. I was wrong. Don't nobody have my back like my mother had my back.
I got your back. You ain't here for it.
I'm sorry. I got your back.
And that's real. That's real. And it took me to move away to realize I made a mistake. Let me tell you, I knew I was making a mistake when I was driving away from the house and I couldn't see the house no more. Everything in me, let me tell you, everything in me wanted to turn around. But my fear of turning around was my mother and my grandmother had put so much money into me moving between flights and U-Hauls and mailing stuff. And it was a couple of thousands already in the hole. I knew I couldn't pay that money back. So I felt like, it might sound dumb, but I felt like now I ain't got no choice but to move. Like they already paid all this money. My flight leave in 2 hours. It's already here. Like it's no turning back now. In that moment, my gut said, Tiffany, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. And those 8 years was the longest, treacherous 8 years of my life. You think that you're around people, you surrounded by people who love you and care about you and want what's best for you. I was around, no lie, I was around, there were some people, and if it's not you, don't holler, because only a hit dog holler. So if it's not you, be cool. Don't be offended. If you know what our relationship was, you shouldn't have an issue with this story. If you feeling some kind of way about this story, maybe you need to reevaluate our relationship. That's all. But I thought that my family was like gonna really hold me down and have my back. Like for real, for real. From the moment I got there, I'm talking about not even 3 weeks in, already arguments, fights. Like it was just a whole different world from what I was raised in. Like I never knew that much division and family existed. Like I would hear my mother on the phone talking to certain family members about some stuff that jumped off between another family member, but I'm like, oh, that's their stuff. That's their issues. But I ain't never thought that I would have those issues with people that I genuinely say that I love. Because anybody that really know me know, if I love you, I really love you. We all got our issues with us. We all got our ways. But I am so big on people coming to me and talking to me. And I'm even bigger on somebody lying on me. And there's been a lot of lie-ons. And there has been a lot of not communicating. You will communicate with somebody else, but you won't communicate with me. And I feel like a lot of issues could be squashed within the family if people just spoke to one another. Like, for real, and left petty stuff to the side. Or if people stop hating on one another, because I don't care. Hate come the hardest with your family. I got family members right now that we ain't never had no beef. Like, no real hard beef. Never threw hands, none of that. And they don't speak to me to this day. Can't even tell you why. Swear. Couldn't even tell you why. And some of them will make up a whole fairy tale book. I'm telling you, they need to write a book. They need to write a book because they have great imaginations. Just saying, like.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's your turn.
Let's see. I feel like when it comes to family, especially when you're dealing with children, I feel like it's just wrong to make one of the children feel like they're not wanted or that they're not cared for as much as the other child. And I went through that with a side of my family. And honestly, to this day, that's why I don't deal with none of them. Like my sister said, if this is not pertaining to you, please don't be offended by it. For those of you who feel like it's you, it probably is. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's been so bad that I've heard a family member tell them that I wasn't even related to them. Tell a random person that I was not related to them. I never told you that story?
No. Okay.
You remember that?
I remember.
Yeah. And it was by one of those family members that, like, is supposed to be the most loving. And it was just kind of like, wow. And when they realized I was standing right there, like, the look on their face.
But I promise you, if we were to say something today,
they would say it never happened.
it never happened.
They would say it never
I
happened.
cannot tell you how many times I've heard it never happened. And do you know the feeling of somebody making you feel like you're delusional and you know good and well what you seen or what you
Right.
heard, because now you're going beyond and you're insulting my intelligence because I'm many things, but I'm not dumb.
Right.
I might play dumb, you know, I might not always do the smartest things, but that don't mean I don't know better. That don't mean, you know, I don't comprehend and I can't see what's going on. I don't see what you're doing.
I think another thing, okay,
Because I was just about to
I
ask you,
think
what are some of your experiences?
families need to normalize not making whoever in the family feel bad for not dealing with a particular person. At the end of the day, I feel like it doesn't matter what your relationship, well, what your title is to me. It shouldn't matter. If the relationship is not there, if the respect is not there, if being cordial is not there, I shouldn't have to deal with somebody regardless of who you are or who you're supposed to be just because we're blood. I shouldn't have to. And I feel like, okay, let's say I have two cousins and there's one cousin that I just don't deal with. My other cousin shouldn't make me feel bad about it. Every time I speak to you and I'm asking you, you know, well, how you doing? What's going on in your life? Blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't get a, well, did you talk to your other cousin? You need to do this and you need to, I don't like that. And even though I'm not talking about a cousin in this, you know, in my scenario, it's just, I don't like that. I feel like that's really childish. Like when kids tell you, "Oh, if you're Timmy's friend, I'm not gonna be your friend." I feel like it's real childish.
Not only do I don't, it's not even that I feel like it's childish. I feel like it's invading privacy a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when my issue is with this person, let us handle our issue. You don't
Hold on,
know.
I'm sorry, and not to cut you
Go
off.
ahead.
It pisses me off when people do that, but you don't tell that other person that when you speak to them.
Yes. Yeah. And not only that, but I feel like you don't know what somebody's experience was. You don't know what went down between them. You know the story that that person told you, and then you know my side.
Right.
But you don't really know what went down because, like I said, there's two sides, and then there's the truth that lie in the middle. And everybody heals different. Everybody take things differently. And some people bounce back quick. Some people need time. Some people need a lot of time. And some people just, once it's over, it's over. And it's okay. It's okay because even family sometimes, you have to love from a distance. Let me tell you something.
Absolutely.
I got family members that probably think I hate them right now. I promise to you, I don't have hate in my heart for not one member of my family. Not one. What I won't do is deal with you. What I won't do is entertain you. What I won't do is lower myself any more than I have already done in the past to entertain any BS that you bring in my way, because my future is so bright and I got so much ahead of me. I don't have time to be looking back at 9 times out of 10 somebody that's doing the same thing. No offense,
Or something.
but I'm just saying, like, I don't have time for it. My life don't consist of the drama that it once consisted of. Because when you want change, you have to remove yourself. If you can't remove the thing that is causing the confusion, sometimes you have to remove yourself from the confusion. Sometimes you have to remove yourself. And when you start to see that you feel better, you're not thinking the same, you're not in that same dark place that those people had you in, then you know what it is already. And it's nothing wrong with that. I have family members right now I do not speak to. I choose not to. And I don't dislike them. I don't have hate for them. I just feel like we on two different vibrations. And I'm not gonna vibrate lower to satisfy you. I cannot tell you how many times I heard that a particular family member of mine said, "Oh, she'll be back. Oh, she moved down south, but she'll be back. Because she always do. Oh, she'll be back. Don't you wish I was back?" Nah, I will never move back. And let me take that back. As long as God bless me and continue to keep the blessings coming the way he keeping them coming, I pray to God I don't have to go back to sleeping on somebody's couch, to sleeping on somebody's floor, to being thrown out at somebody's leisure whenever they want to, whenever they feel like it. I don't never want to go back to that. Gotta leave my baby somewhere else, but I'm bouncing from house to house, post to post. I don't never want to feel like that, being in somebody's space and they saying they don't mind, but they do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not always the easiest person to be around. I'm not. But what I do respect is a conversation. I cannot respect somebody that can't have an adult conversation. Like the particular family I'm talking about, member that I'm talking about, excuse my voice, is a family member, the family member that keeps saying, "Oh, she'll be back, she'll be back." I can't tell you how many times we could have had a conversation, but I understand that some people don't have the intellect to do that. Honestly, some people don't know conversation. You gotta understand. Lene did her thing. Like, we not perfect, but she taught us things. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we act a fool, but when we need to apply them, we apply them. When we need to apply them, we know to go back and get it. It's stuff my mother told me at 13, I ain't never forget it. It's times that my mother told me, I didn't even know that you was listening, but I turned around and I seen, oh, Tiffany was listening. Because even though I'm out here acting crazy, I had a mother that was a mother, not throwing salt, just shedding light. I had a mother that was a mother. I had a mother that would do anything for me. I had a mother, and still will. I had a mother that wasn't in the streets. I had a mother that was home with me. I had a mother that did homework with me. I had a mother that went to school for me. I had a mother that would do whatever she had to do to make sure that we was good. And it didn't matter what she had to do. It was going to get done. Nothing came before T and T. Nothing.
At all.
Nothing.
And still don't. Still don't.
Like, so I got to understand. I don't care how many times I go back to the hood. I ain't no hood rat. I don't care how many times I might hang with you. I'm different. I'm different.
And not better.
Exactly. But I'm different.
Different.
The things that excite people don't excite me. I really went to New York and I was really lowering myself because I wanted to fit in. I was lowering myself because I felt like I got to do what they do to be down with them. First of all, let me tell you something. When you family with somebody, you should never have to do what somebody else do to feel like that's how you're going to get invited. That's how you're going to be accepted. Excuse me.
My hair just look all types of crazy.
Let me tell you something. My son, when I used to throw him birthday parties, my family, as many kids as in my family, they wouldn't show up. They would show up late. I'll never forget, I threw my son a second Yo Gabba Gabba birthday party. Paid for characters, everything. Do you know, my son was the only child at his birthday party until it was over. Then my whole crew of cousins, I'm going to say cousins, thought that it was cool to fall through like nothing when we packing up. If his party started at 1, how y'all coming through at 7? It's dark outside. 6 o'clock. Like, that's why I don't do that to y'all. Anytime I was invited to a birthday party, baby shower, whatever, I went. One baby shower I did not go to, I had just had my baby. And I made it clear, I don't have no money. I'm not going to show up with no gift. Because family or not, you come to a baby shower with no gift, oh, they gonna talk about you. They might smile and be like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. They gonna be like, oh, she ain't give no gift. Family worse than street people. I'ma just say.
They'll do you wrong.
I'ma just say it. So, I feel a kind of way. You know, when I see people going to friends' birthday parties or going here or going there, and they come and gift up. But you come to my son's stuff, and you come in with open hands for a plate, and then you came late.
See, that'd be my thing with people. Like, if we're family, right or wrong, you supposed to support me. Now, of course, you check me in private, but we supposed to be a team. We supposed to be a unit. And how you going harder for people that will turn on you in a heartbeat, but the people that's here for you, that's been here for you, you dismiss them. I don't understand that.
Because everybody wasn't taught the sense of family.
I understand. I just feel like, again, I love my family, but I really do love my family, but I just feel like the type of family that me and my sister come from, and honestly on both sides, I think that's even worse. We get it from both sides, okay? And like my sister was saying earlier, you know, we grew up with parents that they just instilled family in us. We was always going on family vacations. We was always being taught that when nobody else has your back, we have each other's backs. Like, that was just how our parents raised us. And I think that going from that and then seeing my family honestly on both sides prepared me for everything. So the way I grew up with my parents, it showed me, like, regardless of what other people put out as what's important in family, I'm showing you what it's supposed to be. So when you get older and you go have your family, you have these values already installed in you. And I think that I have that. I know how to be a family, how to act like, how to treat my family. When I say my love is unconditional, it's unconditional. I'm not going to dip out on you and leave you hanging because somebody else that'll leave me hanging is looking for me. And that's what our family do. A lot of them. And I think that a lot of our family could be really cutthroat. Let's just call a thing a thing. They can. They can do you dirty, grimy, all of the above, chew you up and spit you out.
I had to fight my family more than I had to fight people in the street.
Yeah.
I'm talking about throw hands.
Yeah.
More than I had to fight people in the
Our
street.
family.
Like, that's sad. That's sad. When you getting handcuffed with your family members, okay? That is sad.
I feel like the way some of our family move,
I
it
had to
already
take
prepared me
handcuffs
for
out.
life. It already prepared me for life. I feel like the things I've seen take place within our family, it really showed me that people could be real cutthroat and people will turn on you in a minute. And that's one of the biggest cons to not being able to pick your family. But it's also a pro in a sense. It really is a blessing. Because all of the negative things that you see within your family, you know moving forward, if you choose to make that decision, not to do that. Not to be like that. Not to place yourself in that environment. I love my family. But majority of them I choose not to deal with. Because like I said earlier, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your title in my life is. And I don't care what you think your position is supposed to be in my life. If I'm always upset around you, I feel some type of way about you, if just hearing your name already puts me in a sour mood, I'm not dealing with you. I'm not. And I don't care who you are or who you want to be. If we can't come to a common ground, brother, daughter, sister, well, maybe not the daughter, but you know, y'all get my point. Cousin, uncle, whoever. You know, if it's toxic, it's toxic. And I could love you and I deal with you. But
Because
again, I think it's a blessing and a curse.
your peace is more important.
It
Let me
is.
tell you something.
It is.
Family will try to drag you down quicker than somebody in the street. But then when they see you, they love you. You don't love me? Because where you at? People get offended when you don't
love
call
will
them.
come with me.
I hear family members say all the time, you don't call me, you don't this, that, whatever.
But you don't do
How
it
much
either.
do my phone ring? How much do my phone ring? I got kids that don't know not now one of my family members in New York City. Why? Because they won't come and visit. Let me tell you something. People make time for things that's important to them. Period.
Y'all, when I tell you it be so deep, I had a particular family member.
And it's not all my family because
It's
the
not- it's not
family
all.
has come see my kids. They have. And they've come and seen me. And I appreciate that. Because I don't mind opening up my doors to none of my family members. As long as you don't bring no drama. Because if you bring drama, you got to get out.
I've had this one particular family member that her and my sister, you know, they have a closer relationship than her and I do. But it was to the point where, remember they was telling you, oh, I don't have Taylor's number, I don't have her number, I don't have her number. How many times I'm going to give you my number? How many times I'm going to put my number in your phone myself? How many times am I going to call you? You may not have my number, but I have yours and I'm reaching out. And how many times you going to keep lying about the situation? If you don't mess with me, you don't mess with me, and that's cool. But be honest about it. Don't sit here and talk to my sister like, oh, well, I don't have her number. She don't talk to me. You don't want to talk to me, and it's cool. Because if I'm being quite honest, I don't really want to talk to you either. I do it out of respect. But just be honest about the situation. The same way I could tell somebody to their face, and I've done it plenty of times, family or not, I love you, I'm cool with you, but I don't really care for the relationship. But I'm honest about it. And however you feel about it, I mean, I'm at peace with the situation, so that's on you. You gotta
And that's the
find
whole
peace in
point.
it.
And honestly, the problem is, I do believe some family members do have peace with just the situation like how we have. And then I believe that some is really envious. Like I really do. I do believe that there's particular family members that really that's family members that's really jealous. And honestly, there's no need to be. And they'll never say that they are, but they really are.
It's never.
And
easy.
it's like the type of person that I am, and the type of person that you knew me to be.
Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just feel like there's never a reason, whether you're family or not, to be envious of anybody. Because at the end of the day, what's meant for you is going to be for you regardless. And if you spending all of your time chasing after what's meant for me, you're not going to be happy anyway. You could get exactly what I have, exactly what you saying that you think you want, and you still not going to be happy because it's not for you. So it's not going to work out in your favor anyway. So I don't understand being envious of people.
And it just goes to, for me, not being confident in myself. Not being confident in myself and allowing myself to lose control in a lot of situations. But when you back a dog up against the wall, what they're going to do, they're going to bite you. And in a lot of situations, I felt like I was backed up against the wall. Like, you know, I did. I felt like, and in a lot of situations, I was wrong. I was wrong for reacting the way I did, but I definitely wasn't wrong for feeling how I felt. And in that moment, when you in the middle of your emotions, you react. I'm a reactor. Sometimes you react. And it's not always the best ending, but how many times you going to keep pushing somebody? Especially somebody that you say that you love. Because most of the time when you deal with family, it's hurt. It's hurt. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I apologize for something that I did not do. You know what that feel like to have to apologize to somebody for something that you did not do. And they did. Just so you can have a place to lay your head. Tell me that's not humiliation. I used to be so mad at my mom. For a long time, I was mad at her. Because all I wanted her to do was just save me. Like, get me out of this place. And my mother told me the day I left, she said, you grown. You 18 now. You want to be grown? Well, you grown now. You a mother. She said, but the next time you come back, you left on my dime, but you won't be coming back on my dime. It took me almost 9 years to get those dimes to be able to come back. That's how long God had to sit me in that hell for me to see who people really were. Because I had a false sense of hope. I had this skewed vision of what my family was. And having that false sense of family, God really had to like snap me back into reality, and he had to reveal people to me. The family that I thought I missed so much, I tell my sister all the time, give me 2 days in New York, I'll be ready to go. I already got the person I'm staying with when I come. Because there's many that won't even know I'm in the city. Why? Because when I lived in the city, you act like I wasn't in the city. Like, when I lived in the city, I was everything but a child of God. So I just feel like, you know, now I get phone calls, oh, how's the kids? How's this? How's that? Was you concerned about the kids?
They're not concerned now. They just want to be nosy.
When I was outside, when I had nowhere to go, when I'm looking around shopping carts in the rain, the snow, cold outside, no money in my pocket, trying to find somewhere to lay my head. I know what it feels like. My whole family lived in New York. And it was probably 3 places I could go to. But everybody want to smile in your face. Everybody want to know how you doing. Why you want to know how I'm doing? When I was in New York, I couldn't even get you to speak. I had family members God rest some of their souls, that would see me in the street, look me right in my face and keep walking like they ain't even see me. I'm talking uncles, aunties. People that's supposed to look out for you and check you in love is acting younger than me.
And for no reason.
I got an aunt to this day that I haven't spoken to since my son was a year old. My oldest son, and he'll be 11. Finally, we started talking again when my second born son was about a year old, was almost a year old. That was short-lived because she money hungry. That was really short-lived. Sometimes you try to, and I'm not gonna lie, my back was up against the wall. I didn't have nobody to watch him. I was bouncing here and there all over the place. I will admit I was not stable at all. And a lot of that had to do with me because of the decisions that I made. But at the end of the day, your family's not supposed to tear you down. If you can't come talk to me, why are you talking about me?
Absolutely.
Do I threaten you that much that you got to sit up and make lies about me? Am I on your mind that much that I live in another state and you bring my name up and say she'll be back? Like, that's crazy to me. You don't like me, I'm all of this, I'm messy, I'm that. But you bringing me up. I shouldn't be a thought in your mind because you're not a thought in mine. Until now, while we on this topic.
Well, my last and final thought on it. Honestly, I know it seemed like I've been being quiet this video, but honestly, I don't have too much to say. I feel how I feel about my family on both sides, and I don't want to say anything to offend nobody because it's nothing personal, but it is. I don't want to mess with you. But off of that, I feel like a lot of issues, not just in our family, but in many families, it's generational curses. It's how you was raised, how you seen your parents or your grandparents treat other people, and as much as you may try to be different, maybe you've never gotten help from what you went through or things that you've seen, and that can really, whether you think it can't, that really affects people that comes after you. If I'm used to always getting spoken to crazy and getting yelled at and beat on, and I don't know how to treat you no different. I don't. If I was never taught how to love, how am I going to love you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to love you the best way I can, but I don't really know how to.
And
so how am I going to do it right?
Let me tell you something. Me going back to New York, the day I decided to go back to New York was the start of me stepping in to womanhood. That was the start of me stepping into a new dimension, because I had to sit in hell. Let me tell you. Do you know what it feel like to be surrounded by your whole family and they in your face every day, and not one family member know that you suicidal? Not one family know that you contemplated on taking your life that night while you in the house with them. And they was part of the reason why you wanted to. You could literally be around somebody that sucks the life out of you. That's a spirit. Honestly, that is a spirit.
I think a lot of people, especially within our family, they have spirits attached to them, and they don't even know. They don't know.
I'm telling you, I was in warfare for 8 years. You hear me? 8 years. When I tell you God had to knock me down to size, when I tell you I know what humiliation is. So if somebody stand in my face and say, I don't know humiliation, I know what humiliation is. Do you know what it feels like to be on government assistance? You in the welfare building, they cutting you off every month. You don't got no money in your pocket. You just trying to keep a Metro card. And for those of you who don't know what a Metro card is, that's a card that you put money on so you can ride the subways and the
Public
bus.
transportation.
Yes. I'm cleaning dirty parks with people that's making $18, $25, $30 an hour. I'm cleaning up crack pipes and dirty condoms off of a park ground for $145.50 every 2 weeks, and some food stamps, and some Medicaid, and some child care. While I'm looking for a job, going to all of these back to work programs that they don't help you with nothing. Going to all of these mock interviews. Going to dead end. I mean, they sending me to factories, working for $5 an hour. I was better than that. And it was times that I was at my breaking point because I was going to take those jobs. But when I tell you that God has something so much great, I'm telling you, I know I had family members that was waiting on my downfall. Because Tiffany always mess up. But that's why I got that one particular family member that kept asking and kept saying, oh, she'll be back. No, you want me, hold on, you want me to come back. You want me to come back because you want me to be just like you. You want me to come back because you're too scared to make a big move. You want me to come back because you don't know how to step out on faith. For real, for real. You want me to come back. Let me tell you, I'm not waiting for nobody to die to get their apartment. I'm not going into a shelter to get an apartment. Good for anybody who did it. For anybody who did it, because everybody got to do what everybody got to do. But God didn't tell me to do that. God didn't tell me to do that. I waited it out. I waited it out no matter what I had to do or how I had to do it. I know what it looked like to some people, but y'all don't know the relationship. Y'all don't know the conversations that I was having with God. To the point that he had me, to the point that I used to be afraid to praise God in public. To the point that I don't care where I'm at. I will praise him. I will break down crying because my story is my story. And y'all don't know what he did to me. What he did for me. Because I tell you, I was in a mental health. I was a shell. I was so empty. I was so numb. I was so numb. I never knew what a crack pipe smelled like until I lived in New York City. You know what that feel like? To have to smell that? I put myself there. And God had to sit me there. Because I had to learn something. And every time I tried to leave, it never worked out. Because God was not done with me. He was not done with me. And I thank each and every one of my family members. The ones that stood by me and the ones that didn't. The ones that cheered me on and believed in me. And the ones that stabbed me in my back and smiled in my face. The ones that smiled in my face and talked behind my back. The ones that made up lies. I thank you. I thank you. I remember this one in particular family member. She used to say to me all the time when I first moved to New York. She used to be like, you too nice. You need to speak up. You need to toughen up a little bit because you in New York. You're not down south no more. You're not in Georgia. People going to walk all over you down up here. Like, you better start speaking up. You better start speaking up. And I felt like I had to morph into something that I wasn't. I felt like the things that I was battling before I went to New York, it manifested. But that was my journey. It manifested because every day was a fight. And bad energy feeds off of bad energy. Every day I had to fight. I was tired. I didn't want to live no more. I'm being honest. People used to say to me all the time, smile. For what? For what? I was so empty. And all of these people that say that they love me can't even see that I'm hurting. All of these people that say that they rock with me. They can't even see that I'm hurting. I'm broken. It was at one point I had to drink to function. I had to smoke to function because I was that unhappy that if I was not under the influence, I could not operate. I was under the influence all the time because I wanted to be numb, because the people I was around, I already wasn't happy with myself. And then you around a bunch of people that just suck you dry. If it's not one thing, it's another. You know how many times my name popped up in a situation I knew nothing about? I knew nothing about. And that goes to show you that these people don't know me. Because if you know me, then you know my character and you know my heart. And you know what Tiffany would do and you know what Tiffany would not do. I ain't perfect. I ain't no saint. Never claimed to be one. Because I did some things. But I'm a human being. And it was many a times I was treated less than. Many a times. I had grown aunts not speaking to me over something they didn't know nothing about. On both sides of my family. Family members right now on both sides of my family who don't speak to me. But then when I get a phone call, did you call such and such? Did such and such call me? No. No. Why would I call you? What do we have to talk about? Clearly, we don't got nothing to talk about. I didn't call you. You didn't call me. Like, I feel away. I feel away. And it's sad. It makes me feel some type of way. I can't tell you how many times I had to go through unnecessary BS. But again, that was my journey, and I had to, because it prepared me for some things that I was going to face. When you in a situation, that thing looks like a giant. That thing looks so big. It looks like you're never going to overcome it. It looks like you can't see your way out. But when you finally get over it, and that giant dies, and you look back, that giant don't look so big and scary no more. That giant can't defeat you anymore. That giant is no longer a giant, but it's real small. Now you're the giant. That's how God prepared me. He had to put me in situations with people because he was preparing me for something greater. My family is a small thing. It's a small thing that prepared me for some big things that's ahead of me. So I thank each and every one of y'all. Because the ones that don't like me and the ones that do like me, the ones that don't love me and the ones that do love me, y'all prepared me for my future. Not only did y'all prepare me, but y'all helped me walk right into it. The transition was smooth. Because God had a plan all along. I couldn't see my way out of that long 8-year dark situation. But God said, hold on. If you could just hold on for all of your suffering, for every lie that was told, for every fight, internally and externally, I am going to lighten the load. I am going to lighten the burden. And that's what he did for me. I never thought, 5 years ago, this was me being in my own place was literally a dream. I used to daydream about being in my own place. My son used to say to me every night from the age of 2, Mommy, when can we have our own house? Because he ain't want to be with these people. He ain't want to live there. Mommy, when can we be in our own place? And it used to crush me every time he would ask me that. because I didn't know. I started losing hope. I started losing hope and thinking I was really sitting back like, man, I'm going to really have to wait someone to, it might sound bad, but I'm going to really have to, like, what, hope somebody put me on their list? Like, and just wait? Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. Every day was unknown for me. Every day I didn't know what I was going to walk into. Every morning I woke up, I didn't know if I was going to wake up and it was going to be peaceful, or if I was going to wake up to a fight. I'm talking a fight. I'm talking throwing hands.
Probably throwing more than that.
You shouldn't have to be that way with your family. You shouldn't have to fight just to lay down at night and go to sleep peacefully, just to get some sleep. You should not have to. And everything I went through, I'm telling y'all, I'm so grateful. And I don't have not one enemy in my family or outside of my family. May have people I don't deal with, but I promise you, I don't dislike anybody. I just see things for what it is. And trust me, I'm the more sensitive one where she's the more blunt one. But I see things for what it really is. And a lot of people play on my niceness, and they do take it for weakness, because I'll give you chance after chance after chance. So, in saying that, I'm going to say this. I do love all of my family, whether we have a relationship or not. I still have love for you. And I thank all of you for, helping me through my journey. But it is what it is. Family is family, and you got to love them at the end of the day. You may not like them, but you got to love them.
I do.
At the end of the day, I still, for anybody. I love all of y'all.
I don't know about for anybody. For me,
I love y'all.
I definitely love
I love
y'all.
y'all. Y'all still my family. But, hey, it is what it is.
Some family you just got to deal with.
And this conversation is still all in love, but it's our truth.
It is.
So respect it. So thank you for joining T&T Talks. We enjoyed y'all. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and comment. Please, we begging for y'all comments.
Share.
Because we want to know how y'all feel.
Yes.
Put y'all input in, whether y'all like it, y'all don't like it, y'all want to curse us out, however y'all feeling. Let us know how you feel. It's all in love. So go in peace, and everybody be blessed.
And in case y'all didn't catch it when she said it, make sure you comment down below.
Thank you.